Hey guys, Malzo here, and look what the cat dragged in. It's Emilio. He's back. Playing at Copenhagen Games here. This is the finals of the LAN tournament, and they ended up losing the series 0-2, but Emilio, pretty controversial. He's got a VAC ban on his account, and he's been playing recently. He actually played 3 tournaments in 2016, winning one of them, and collected a little bit of prize money. Copenhagen Games was by far the biggest tournament he's played in, and he took home, well, the team took home just under 14,000 for this. And I've watched the whole demo now. It really isn't an overly suspicious demo, but I mean, he just looks like such a knob in some spots. Like he does this all the time where he just like shoots bullets at random, like it's a spot where a CT would hold, but normally when you're getting pushed and your teammates are dying, you're not going to spend time wasting your bullets on midair. You know, you're going to want to kind of peek out and help your teammates. And there actually is a little bit of a weird spot coming up here that I'll show you. It is a low tick rate demo. That's the one problem. It's only a 32 tick demo. Most of the big tournaments now are up to 128 tick GoTV demos. So I'm missing a lot of ticks here. And like, he looks like such a knob when he just turns corners and just starts shooting and shit like that. Kind of bugs me, but anyways, I'll slow this down. The part that really, it looks funny anyways, when the CT comes around, it looks like I'm missing frames. And he just instantly blasts the guy. So I went into the demo and captured it again, actually. And I wasn't missing frames, but I can't really say too much about it because I only have a 32 tick demo, but it does look strange, you know, when a guy comes around a corner and he just kind of warps into his crosshair and gets instantly killed. Got a little bit of a clip here. Maybe he's using a small offset or something, but I don't think it's too bad. His crosshair is in a little bit of no man's land. Not really looking at much, you know, nobody's going to come out through the wall there at him, but not that bad. So I think a lot of people are kind of on the fence on, you know, VAC banned players coming back and wondering if they would cheat again, if they would risk it again. You know, if he gets caught again, obviously he's going to be gone for life. And I think, you know, I would think a rational person would say, well, it's unlikely they'd cheat again. You know, just like a baseball player getting caught with steroids, you would want to say, okay, well, hopefully he doesn't do it again because the ban's going to be even worse the second time he does it. But I wanted to dig into a little bit of Emilio's history and what kind of got him VAC banned. And I wasn't sure if he was part of the Supex Zero wave. That wave actually took place November 20th, and Emilio got banned October 8th. So there was quite a bit of time separating it. So I messaged Supex Zero on Twitter and just asked him straight up if Emilio was his customer. And he said no, he wasn't. And he said Emilio was pretty much the only guy dumb enough to use just a straight up $10 a month cheat that anybody could buy that played CSGO, and that's what he was using to cheat in tournaments and online and shit like that. He Supex knows because he knew the cheat provider that was providing it for Emilio, and he said, yeah, it was just a $10 monthly cheat. It wasn't anything special. There's a bit of a weird spot here where he comes down hut and just starts shooting this guy kind of before he could see him. But this could be, you know, it could be a lot of things. He could have just heard him. And you can see he starts shooting right there. He just sees a bit of the gun barrel. But console was running right before this, so it's definitely explainable, you know, not the end of the world. Anyways, once Supex Zero told me that he was legitimately just using a $10 a month cheat, that really threw a lot of the logic out the window for me with Emilio. Like, I would logically say a guy that gets caught cheating wouldn't come back after his VAC ban and immediately cheat again. That, you know, like, I wouldn't think that right away, you know, just being a logical kind of thought process. But after getting told that this guy was seriously dumb enough just to use a $10 a month cheat to cheat at a professional level, that changes my opinion. And that tells me that maybe it is possible. Maybe this guy is, like, maybe he just does not care, right? It's certainly possible. It really bugs me how he runs around just spraying randomly. Like, he does it a bunch of times in this map, and it really makes him look like a knob. Anyways, so yeah, I think you could draw a little bit from that. You know, if the pro player was using, you know, like, what if he was using just a free cheat off of like multiplayer game hacks? Like, that'd be ridiculous, right? You would think that guy's the dumbest guy on the planet. Well, paying $10 a month isn't far off from that, right? If you're a professional player, you would think you would maybe spend a little bit more money on it, right? Maybe try and get something a little higher quality, but you just got caught up in a regular VAC ban. This is really weird. I'm going to replay this. Just remember this for a couple of seconds there. He just kind of shoots at nothing. I don't know if he thought he saw someone. Anyways, he's not shooting at anything, obviously. He can't see console. Console doesn't jump or anything. so he doesn't see his head or anything. But when he comes into sight, he seems pretty sure that there's a guy behind that box. I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just luck. But it's really weird to just come around that corner, shoot a couple bullets at nothing, and then when you come into the site, you're like, hey, I know where somebody is, and you go right to it. It's a coincidence, right? And I don't like seeing too many of those. Emilio gets left in these clutch scenarios quite a few times T-side, actually. He comes through pretty often. And I don't know if this guy's legit or not. Like, his kills kind of look funny. This is a low tick rate demo, but he's in a pretty bad position in that any highlight reel this guy ever gets, or any kill he ever gets, is going to be highly scrutinized, and people are going to believe it's bullshit, right? And probably rightly so. Like, he brought that upon himself, right? I get asked a lot on what I think the ban length should be for these type of players that get vac banned and stuff, just because I do a lot of Overwatch videos. But I'm really not one of those guys that buys into the opinion that, you know, you do something wrong, you should be banned forever. I really don't think that's ideal. I've said this before, and I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself, but people don't watch every video, right? But I really think in a perfect world, these players would maybe get banned for a year, 8 months, a year and a half, whatever, depending on the severity. You know, if they cheated online, if they cheated on LAN, you can adjust the severity and stuff like that. In a perfect world, that's what I would want. The only thing that's really stopping me from saying, okay, these guys, you know, should only be banned for a limited amount of time, is the fact that they never catch people. Like, they've only caught a handful of people. Even at the semi-pro level, they don't catch people very often. Like, they caught Nerdy. That was really the only guy last year in ESEA Premier that they caught. It's a really weird kill. I wish I could measure the reaction time on this, but it really wouldn't be accurate in a 32 tick demo, but it just looks kind of weird. Anyways, if the leagues were catching people at a reasonably believable level, then yeah, you know, I would like to say, okay, ban these guys for a year, ban them for 18 months, whatever. And then if they cheat again, you know, you could probably catch them again, right? And then they can get banned permanently. Kind of like baseball. I make a lot of references to baseball, but that's kind of what they do, right? They're always catching guys. Every year they catch a couple guys or a handful of guys that are doing steroids, whatever. Sometimes they have big busts where they catch a whole bunch of people. And I refuse to believe that nobody at the pro level and nobody at the semi-pro level is cheating. Like, there's gotta be fucking one or two guys at least that are cheating in either of those levels, right? In Premier or in pro level. And I'm not confident that leagues are catching these players at a reliable enough rate to justify temporary bans. That's really the best justification for permanent bans, is because I have no belief or no faith in the system that ESEA and ESL and all these tournament organizers, Valve, I have no faith that they're capable of catching people. So on the odd fucking miracle that they do actually catch someone, yeah, I want them banned forever, right? And that's kind of the two ideas that I kind of battle with, right? Like, in an ideal world, I just want temporary bans. You know, these guys are young, they have short careers, they're trying to get to the top. They made a mistake, whatever. You know, everybody gets one shot, right? Or everybody gets one mistake that they can come back from. And then the other side of the argument is that, you know, these guys, like, they don't get caught very often, right? It was a couple, like, this guy got caught because he was using a public cheat. That's ridiculous. The Supex Zero cheat bust, all the players were using the same cheat at the time, so that busted all of them, right? So really, they only caught one cheat. It just so happened that a handful of players were using it. I also find it a little unsettling how receptive other players are to Emilio. Like, hey, come and play on our pug team. We'll go to Copenhagen Games together, brother. Isn't that kind of weird? Like, this is a guy that was back banned. He was cheating. He probably played against a lot of these players, cheated his ass off against them, and then they're recruiting him to go play with them on LAN. Like, isn't that kind of weird? There was actually an article that came out on HLTV a while ago too, that a player that played with Emilio in 2014 was saying that he was wall hacking at Copenhagen Games. A lot of people don't realize, they think it's dumb, you know, say haha wall hacking, as if like they would spot that. In Source, there was a wall hack that came out that was just a pixel. So it would only show like a single pixel on your monitor. So you'd have to really look closely to find it. And anybody standing back more than a couple feet would never see a single pixel that gave away where somebody was, right? So you could definitely use that type of wall hack on LAN. And a place like Copenhagen Games, where they have a BYOC and they have, maybe not as intense security as some other places, they might not notice something like that, right? Even most big tournaments, they only have one admin, and he's standing a good 10 feet behind the monitor. So like he would never be able to spot one pixel being out of place when there's lights going off, there's glares on the monitors, players' heads are in front of the monitors, stuff like that, right? So it's people don't realize that it's really a legitimate way to cheat on LAN. You can have a wall hack. If somebody really analyzes your screen, maybe they'd notice, but there's always going to be a button. You just tap your button and turn it off real fast if somebody comes close to your monitor, right? So interesting stuff. And I'm actually glad that when he came back, it really kickstarted the conversation about cheating in CSGO, right? It had people tweeting about it, talking about it, mentioning it, making forum posts, stuff like that. And I really think that's one of the most important aspects of trying to keep a cleaner scene and just keeping public awareness up, right? To remind people that, yeah, it is a possibility that these players can cheat on LAN especially. And it's good to have that conversation, because that conversation gets read by ESL and Valve and stuff like that. And the more people talking about it, the more likely things are going to get fixed, right? So I'm glad that people started talking about it again when he came back. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time.